You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh, how
you know what time it is. I'm brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. And as you can see, we got another special guest here with us tonight. Defensive end out of the 2026 class, Jackson Ford. Jackson, how you doing tonight, man?
How you guys doing? I'm great.
Good, man. Mello, how was your day?
Man, it's good. I was looking forward to this interview, man. I saw some crazy highlight film. I can't wait to get into that discussion. Great weekend, spring ball, student appreciation day. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of great things going on around Ohio State and the football program. So I can't wait to dive into it.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of momentum for the Buckeyes on the recruiting trail right now in a lot of areas. Defensive line maybe doesn't have so much going. So we're looking for that first commit. We're going to dive into some questions with Jackson to get to know him a little bit and just see what kind of player he is, what kind of person it is. So I'll start off with this, Jackson. How did you get into football, man? Do you have family members that played? Just kind of talk us through those beginning stages of becoming a football player.
Yeah, I started playing football at a very young age. I feel like I've always been around football my whole life. My father played football at the collegiate level. My older brother played football at the collegiate level. So it's kind of something that I grew up around. And my parents threw me in there right when I was young, did flag football when I was like 4 or 5, and kind of just got straight into tackle when I was around 6, and I've been sticking with it ever since.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So what kind of positions did you play when you first started playing football? All of them, pretty much?
Yeah, I was pretty big as a kid. So, when you're big, they just throw you on the line. But, every once in a while they do like a heavy formation. They just give me the ball and I would just run as hard as I can. Maybe at like 5 yards in. So I did a little bit of running back in a Pee-wee. A lot of O-line, D-line. And I didn't until I really started growing. So like middle school, I didn't do any like skill positions. Like I didn't really play tight end or receiver until I was like a freshman in high school. That's when I started playing receiver and tight end because I started slimming out. I started like building my frame. So I was more built than I was just big because like I was just big in middle school. So I was just on the line. But when I started slimming out and like getting taller, I started like I did more like the receiver stuff and like the tight end and then DN and yeah.
So
nice,
when
man.
did you have that moment when you realized I'm different? Like what happened? What was it? How old were you? What did you do that you were like, yeah, I'm different?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like my whole life I kind of just because I was just in Pee-wee, you're kind of just bigger than everyone. So I was like, oh, I might be pretty good. But I think it was I went to we had like these workouts. My school, we have like these Wednesday morning workouts, and we do like one-on-ones against the team. And I was kind of new to the team. I transferred halfway through the school year. I came from Phoenixville to Malvern Prep halfway through my sophomore year, and this is my first time working out with the team. And we were kind of doing one-on-ones, and I won't forget. I lost my first rep, and then I don't think I lost a rep ever again for like the rest of the spring. Like I took it personally. I just started busting people. Like on offense, I was winning my one-on-ones. On defense, I was winning my one-on-ones. Like and then like that's when like I started picking up offers. And then I when I first realized I was like, oh, maybe like I could really like go big was probably after Penn State camp. And I did my thing. I ran like a 4.6 40, like 9-foot broad jump. I just had a great day. Won my one-on-ones, went great to the drills, and Coach Franklin came down. He offered me like personally, like shook my hand, offered me, met my family, and I was like, that's when it kind of hit me. I was like, if I work hard, I can do something with this.
So I take it you're a very competitive person then.
Oh yeah, I don't like losing. I think that's kind of just how I got to where I'm at. Like I hate losing, so anytime I lose, it's personal for me. It's not like it's not friendly for at all.
And the reason I say that is because it seems like there's a common phrase going around the Woody and around the program right now that every day is a war at practice.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the practice. Maybe you could speak to that later down the road as we go throughout the process. But they say every practice is a war, and you're fighting for your position every single play. So, seeing how you have that competitive edge, I think you would definitely fit in probably perfectly because you would be used to always going hard like that anyway.
Yeah, we're definitely about to dive into, the relationship with Ohio State and get some details on how the visit went. But before we get there, last question before we dive into like the offers and more of what you're dealing with right now is walk us through your mindset as a football player, right? When you're on that field and the ball is getting ready to be snapped, what's going through your head, man? You focused on what players are doing? Are you getting ready to take somebody's head off? Are you pumped? Are you excited? Are you calm? Walk us through who you are as a football player, man, on the field.
Yeah. So I like to I always tell people like who I am on the field and off the field, like two different people. Like off the field, I don't really talk much. I'm pretty quiet, but like on the field, you're gonna notice me 100%. Like I'm violent, I'm physical, I loud. Like I make a play, I talk. Like if you watch my film, after like my first play, like I was 3 seconds after the play, I was just getting hyped. Like this is what I do. Like after like any big play or a big hit, I'm letting everybody know what I just did. So like I'm very vocal on the field. I'm very like physical on the field. Like I don't shy away from contact. And I kind of play like I have a chip on my shoulder. That was kind of the whole memo last year. Like I was playing to prove something. So every game was personal for me, whether it was like our league play or it was our out of conference play. Every game was perfect. It was personal for me, and it meant something. So I was trying my hardest every single game, every single snap. And so my mentality is just go as hard as I can because it could be my last down. So just go as hard as I possibly can.
Dude, that's a beautiful mentality, man. I mean, that's a good mentality to keep just in this world in general, because this world does not stop throwing haymakers at you. You dodge one, there's another one coming. You're gonna fall down. About the only thing that you got to stand on is the fact that you keep going. You know what I mean? So really good mentality. So to dive into more of what's going on now in your life, walk us through or tell us about that first offer, man. Who was your first offer and when did the offers start rolling in?
First offer was the summer going into my sophomore year. My father's friend, who was a head coach at Central Catholic in Philly, he was taking a bunch of his players to camps, and my dad was like, "Oh, this would be a great chance for you to get some exposure." So I started going with him, and I went to camps. I was playing tight end, and I was giving everybody work. I was a freshman. I was about like 6'4", like maybe 210, just giving everybody work on the one-on-ones, the drills. I wasn't like the fastest. I think I ran like a 4.9 freshman year. I wasn't like crazy fast. Didn't like blow you away with my stats, but I don't think I lost a single rep. And Coach Kevin Sumlin, I won't forget, Coach Kevin Sumlin brought me after, like pulled me out after the circle, pulled me out like position circle and kind of talked to me. And he was like, well, blah, blah, you look good out there. Like, do you have any offers? And I was like, no, coach, I don't have any offers. He was like, well, you just got yourself one today. And he asked me to meet my dad. It was like surreal. That was like my first ever offer. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was from Maryland. And Kevin Sumlin, he's a really good coach. That he was just coming from Texas A&M with Johnny Manziel. So he's like, beat Bama. So he's like, I was hyped to get an offer from him. So, and my dad was really proud of me. So that was like a big moment for me. Like my first ever offer was pretty huge. Yeah.
Hold on. We're not going to skim over that. Did you just hear? He was like, I'm 6'4", 210 freshman year. And I ran kind of slow. I ran a 4.9. Like what? I got a friend. This is a true story. He ran a 5.2 his freshman year. When he graduated from Rutgers, he ran an unofficial 4.28. He played in the league for a while. Yeah. But his brother ran in the Olympics as well. But I just want to throw that out. So, like, you were moving, bro. You were not moving slow.
Mello, the last time I did that, I think I was a sophomore, man. So I don't think I can do that anymore. He's talking about me, Jackson. That's what he's talking about. But anyway, that's a lie. He's not. But So to dive into it, and Mello, I know you got questions right after this. I'm going to dive into this, man. And dude, how did the relationship with Ohio State start? Can you tell us that first day, that first call, that first message? Who was it, and how did it go, man? Not even an offer, just the communication.
Yeah, it kind of all started. So it's like around February. I got my offer. I want to say February 13th. I want to say the day before Valentine's Day. I got my offer from Ohio State. So it started on that day. Like we first got in contact February 13th. He followed me and he DM'd me on Twitter, but I didn't even see it until like my coach had to call me and let me know, because it was lunch, and during lunch we play basketball and it gets competitive. Like you don't want to get knocked off the court because you probably won't get back on. So it's like win or go home. So we're hooping. I have like a whole sweat going on, like whole sweat. We're like 3 games deep. My squad heating up. We're not even missing. We're hot. And then I have my Apple Watch on, and I see my head coach calling me. He's like, "Yo, like, are you looking at your phone? Coach Johnson's trying to get in contact with you." I'm like, "Coach Johnson?" I was like, "Ohio State." He was like, "Ohio State." I was like, "Dang, I forget." I told a bull, "Get in for me." I go to my phone. I text him back. I was like, "Hey, okay, sorry I missed this. Like, are you still available to call?" He was like, "Yeah. I'll call you after school." I was like, "All right, sounds good." So I'm just thinking about it all day. Like halfway through the school day, that's all I'm thinking about. I'm getting hyped. I don't like, anytime I get in contact with a coach like that, I don't like to say it like to anybody, because I feel like I'll jinx it, so I get scared. So I don't say anything. So it's just like I'm the only one that knows in my head coach that Coach Johnson just texted me. I'm hyped. Like he's a great coach. Like he's like Hall of Fame type of coach. Like I was excited all day. And then I get home, and I was like, "Are you ready to call?" He was like, "Sorry, I just got into a meeting." So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna take a shower." I get in the shower. I'm in the shower. He calls me while I'm in the shower. I was like, so I hop out the shower right away. I answer. I got like a towel, just a towel. I'm answering. I'm like, "How are you doing?" He's like, "Jackson, it's nice to meet you. Like, it's finally nice to get in contact, blah, blah." Like, we just have a little talk. Like, we get to know each other. And then he offers me. I'm unreal. There was no one in the house, though. My mom was gone and my dad were gone because my brother had a basketball game. So I just I finished my shower. I get dressed. Before that, I did like a 360 around my house. Like, I'm running. I was hyped to get Ohio State, like too hyped. The first thing I did, I called all my friends. I like group FaceTime too, not even individually. Group FaceTime, got all in there. I told them, they were all hyped for me. Like, I have a great support system. They were all hyped for me. And then finished what I was doing, finished my shower. And then my parents got home. And I think my dad was probably the most excited out of my friends, out of my coaches, out of my brother. He was ecstatic. And I wish you guys could meet my dad. My dad's nonchalant. He doesn't
gotta bring him on.
Yeah, he doesn't talk much. He doesn't really say. I told him I got Ohio State. He was, Ohio State. I was like, yeah. So I was happy to see he was happy, but yeah, it was Ohio State was crazy to get Ohio State and that offer, and just that the whole day was kind of crazy as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So before I ask a more in-depth question, I wanted to ask you this: what's your height and weight right now?
So I'm 6'4.5", 241 pounds.
Woo, you a big kid, man. You ready to come in and play right now, right? Yeah, we need some depth right there at the DN position. But so going into this weekend, you flew into Columbus, Friday evening? You said you had a little weather problem.
Was it
from the stores?
I think it was no. So we flew in Thursday morning.
Okay.
But the weather didn't get us in until Thursday, like afternoon, like 6 or 7, and then we got dinner with Coach Johnson. And then on Friday we had like the whole day with them.
Okay, so can you just walk us through what you guys did on Friday and your experience throughout the weekend?
So Friday started really early. You know, Ohio State, they have early practices. So we were up at, I want to say 7. We were up at 7. Coach Washington picked us up. I think we got breakfast first, and then we went to watch them practice. Or no, we had a meeting first. We had like a personal meeting first with some of the staff. And then we went to practice. Practice started at 9, and I got to see Coach Johnson coach. I got to see some live scrimmaging. It was all like I think I came on the perfect day. The only other day would probably have been the scrimmage, but it was the first practice where they were all live. Quarterbacks were live, running backs were live, receivers were live, and they were getting after it. They were hitting. And I don't think the craziest thing I remember was they were live, and I don't think one of the quarterbacks knew they were live. This linebacker came down, boom, just right through him, did not stop. And defense got hyped. They were hyped. But
I think that was Riley Pettijohn.
Anyway, you said what?
I think that might have been a freshman linebacker, Riley Pettijohn.
It might have been. I don't know. He came down like a rocket. Boom. Big hit too. Defense got hyped. It was a good competitive day. So like that thing you said about the war, every day's a war. It's surreal. I feel like everybody on the defense and the offense plays with a chip on their shoulder, and you can tell because they get after practice. Practice is probably my favorite part of the day. And then after practice, we had a couple more meetings. Like they were kind of just teaching me about what my academic process would be while I'm at the school, kind of life while I'm at the school, stuff about my major. I want to do business. I want to do a little bit of real estate. So just teaching me more about that. More walking around the campus, seeing what the campus has to offer, going to the business school, meeting all the coaches, all the staff, got to meet some players. We went into the weight room, talked to some of the strength and conditioning staff. We met like the nutritionists and all that, and like kind of the food they eat. And then we got lunch, and that was kind of our day. Then we headed to the airport.
So I got a few questions real quick.
Yep.
One, the practice, how did that make you feel watching how hard they were going and how hard they were practicing?
Yeah, watching the competitive practice, like it got me excited. Like me and my dad, like we were seeing it. We like, when you watch like good football, you just want to start playing football. Like it just gets you hyped. Like it just makes you like want to go. So just watching them compete like that, like dog eat dog, and they're just getting after it, like nobody's safe. Like it just like it gets you excited, and it makes you want to learn more about the program.
So it's something that we could say is attractive. Two, did you get to talk to Tyler Walton, OG Walt's son, at all? Because OG Walt is like huge in the real estate.
Yeah, I don't think I did. No.
So that's something to just keep in mind in the back of your mind. And also Columbus is the fastest growing city in America. So, I mean, a lot of players on the team are into real estate, and it's just something to look at as you're going through this process and think about.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll make sure I remember that.
So there's probably a list that's very long about what you liked from that. So let me ask you this first before I ask you my real question. And that is, as a recruit, man, when you're looking at these schools, can you tell us the first three things on your list in order? What's number one you got to see, number two, number three?
So the first thing is definitely like the fit. Like, am I a fit for the school? Like, there's a lot of great football programs out there, but I'm not a fit for every program. And, and so that's like the first thing, like, can I see me, going to school, waking up early, busting my butt off 3 to 4 years in this place? Like, do I mesh with these players? Do I mesh with the coach? Like, all of that, very important. And then if I go there, do I have will they help me like flourish will they help me flourish as a man, as a student, as an athlete? Like, will they help me just become a better person, whether that's on the field or off the field? And then will they set me up for future? Because, you only play football for a certain amount of time. So like, when I graduate, does that degree hold weight? Like, can I go get a job? Can I go provide for my family if football isn't, what I end with and, what I can rely on? Like, can I rely on my education to go get a job and go get, a good living?
Yeah, I'll tell you this, Jackson. We've interviewed a lot of recruits, some of them committed to Ohio State, some of them not. And there is a pattern with the type of individuals that Ohio State recruits at their school. And the patterns, some of the stuff in that pattern are very mature individuals. And just by this interview here, I can tell you are a very mature individual. And they got a good head on their shoulders, right? This world can present us with a lot of opportunities, a lot of real flashy opportunities. And it's like a microwave society, right? It's like, oh, there's $1 million in front of me. Let me grab that right now instead of waiting 10 years for the $50 million to be there, right? It sounds like that list you just gave me sounds like the list that all these other recruits that we have on this channel that Ohio State has offered. So good head on your shoulders, man. It's awesome to hear you say that as a young man, first off, and then as a recruit in today's society. So clearly you got a very good support group behind you, really good parents that show you the things that are truly important in life. So I kind of wanted to roll that question into like, give me just your top 3 things that you got from the visit, man. Like the brotherhood feel. Could you feel the competitiveness? What is it, man? What 3 things stood out to you from the visit?
Well, just on the topic of practice, it's everything there is it's a competition, and everyone holds each other to a high standard, and you're not allowed to go below the standard, or they're gonna let you know. Doing like they did like the one-on-ones, and someone just didn't. It didn't look like they were trying their best, and everyone, like from the coaches to the players, got on them, because when you're at Ohio State, I feel like the standard is greatness, and if you're not living up to that, then you gotta try harder, because you're there for a reason. So you have the ability to do it. So yeah, it's your job to live up to it.
And you like that? You like that pressure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like accountability is very important, because getting complacent is very easy, especially in like a world like this, or at a place like Ohio State, with you have like all these fans that will hype you up and boost you up. So I feel like getting complacent is easy. So when you have teammates that are as competitive as you and that hold you accountable, that will make sure you stay on your grind and you stay getting better, because you can always get better. No one's perfect. No one's better than anyone else completely.
Hey, how old are you again?
I'm 16.
Chat, let me know, yes or no. At the age of 16, did you know that lesson right there, what complacency can do in your life? Yes or no? Did you know that? I'll tell you, I did. I learned that at about 24, Jackson. All right, number 2 on your list from the visit. What stood out to you? Number 2.
Probably the coaching staff. There's a lot of new coaches, like Coach Washington, my assistant position coach, Coach Pat, new defensive coordinator, just some of the new guys. But even though they're new, they have a great track record. Coach Washington, not only did he play at a great school, he played at Oregon, but he's coming from UCLA, and then Coach Pat, he was in the NFL, so he already has great coaching experience. So I feel like even though the coaches are new, they're very well versed in experience. And then you have Coach Johnson, who's like the best of his craft. So like just all that put together, I feel like I'd be getting coached by some of the best, and they'd have some of the best advice for me. You have people with Super Bowl rings, and you have people with a bunch of college football rings. So I feel like I'd be getting great information. So when you have a coaching staff as versed in experience as that, it's very compelling. Very compelling.
I don't want to keep interrupting you. I want you to finish the list, but I got to ask you this question, because this might be the most important answer for Ohio State fans to hear, because Coach Larry Johnson, get up there a little bit in his age, and a lot of people want to put out there negatively recruit against him because of his age, saying recruits, they don't know if he's going to be there, this, that, and the other, whatever comes with older age, right? So just straight up, man, does that bug you? Do you think about that? Or when you get there and you see the way he operates and how long he's been there, that would encourage me, like, hey, this dude's loyal. He's obviously sticking around for a long time, and he's obviously the GOAT at what he does. But just tell me, man, straight up, what do you think about that? Larry Johnson, what's your thoughts on his age and people that negatively recruit with that right there?
Well, I feel like his age is more of a positive than it is a negative. I mean, with age comes experience. So I feel like he has so much to teach me, especially I'm still a teenager. So I have so much to learn about football, but about life in general. So I think he'd hold great advice for me. But just getting to meet him and just kind of getting to understand the type of person he is, I feel like he's a very loyal person, and he loves Ohio State. He loves Ohio State, and the people in the building love him. If you just bring him up in a conversation, like the other staff, they will just rave about him. And I feel like that speaks volumes about who he is and about what he means to the program. And I think he plans on sticking it out with the program for quite a while, at least as long as I'm there. Like I feel like he'd stay around for my 3 or 4 years in college. I strongly believe that he'll stick with Ohio State for quite some time.
Did he seem to have a lot of energy to you?
He's probably not the most energetic, but he's very it's not like he's a boring person to talk to. Like he can keep you engaged most definitely, but he's not jumping all over the place or anything like that. But he can keep you engaged. He's very concise with his words. He's very straightforward. Like he gives you what it is, and he kind of helps you. He helps paint a great picture of what he's trying to explain.
Yeah, I was just more in terms of wondering like how he is at practice and interacting with the players during practice and stuff.
That's a good question. I feel like at practice, he's kind of more the same way. He tells you what to do. If you make a mistake, he talks to you and kind of tells you the steps to fix your mistake. But from what I learned, like not really a yeller for the most part, kind of just like talk to you and teach you more than like he'll get up and yell at you.
Yeah. I think Ryan Day did a good job this year. You brought up the assistant D-line coach picking you up for your visit. It seems like Ryan Day did a good job at surrounding Larry Johnson with some guys that can, not that Larry has a default, but maybe that can fill in those areas, because that's a lot of guys in your position group to coach. So for Ryan Day to bring in the experience of those position coaches that he brought in, some of those have experience being head D-line coaches at other school and NFL experience. So you're surrounded by a lot of good minds there at Ohio State. What's your number 3, man? What's the number 3? Is it the facilities, the things that go on there? But on your list, what's number 3 for you, man?
I would say, I know I kind of talked about it with the coaches, but just the support system. I kind of feel like it kind of touches on my point where I said like the accountability, how everyone holds everyone to like a standard. Like the support system around Ohio State is like very deep, from the academics to like making sure you're at practice and making sure you're competing. It's just everyone like holds each other up. It's like it's one person for everybody. Like you're doing everything in your ability to give everyone on their team like the best of you, and everyone's doing the same thing for you. So you're getting everyone's giving their best, and like when a group of people all come together and give their best, the program elevates, and I feel like that shows through their recent results.
So I had a question. Did you get to interact with Matt Patricia at all?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I was calling him Coach Pat. I meant to say Coach Matt. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I did not mean to say Coach Pat.
I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah. I don't know why I was saying
yeah.
Pat. I meant Coach Matt. Yeah. Defensive coordinator, like just come. Yeah. That's what I was talking. That's what I meant to talk about. But yes, we did. We got to have like our own whole meeting with him, like me, my parents, and him, just all in one meeting. He was just telling us about, he played a little bit of college ball, and then he kind of talked about his coaching experience and how he ended up here, and how his whole life is planned out coaching wise, and kind of what he has planned for the defense this upcoming year, what he has planned for me. So we had a good lengthy talk. I'd say like an hour long.
So did you like the plan that he has for you?
Yeah, he had it all. Like he had a really good scheme. There's a lot of versatility, like a lot of things like dropping into coverage, rushing the passer, spying, like all of that. Like versatility is kind of the new, modern age of my position. So I kind of like that he was taking that into account and really utilizing that.
Don't give away too many of our secrets.
Yeah,
now.
I was about to say.
My bad.
No, bro, just messing with you, dude.
And talk about versatility. I don't know if people know you play a little wide receiver.
Yeah.
You played a little running back. You played a little bit of everywhere, tight end, coming off the edge. I seen you playing. It looked like you went into an outside linebacker role at points. Yeah. So it just speaks volumes to your athleticism. And it's very easy to see, talking to you and seeing your film, why Ohio State will want you. And just like basically the same thing Dev said, like you and all the kids that we talk to, you all have something common. It's the maturity, it's the responsibility, it's the seriousness, it's the I want to get here, I know what I want. It's like you guys are goal oriented and you're already ahead of the curve because you know what you want out of life. A lot of 16-year-olds cannot say that. So salute to you. And also I just wanted to put this out. Kurt Barton, he has a tree in Buckeye Grove. He was an old lineman. And he said, if you go to Ohio State and you put in the work, you'll be an NFL draft pick, period.
Yeah, I believe it. They send a lot of kids to the league every year. They sent, I want to say 3 on the D-line just this year. I feel like getting drafted for sure. I feel like JT and Jack, I feel like they're going to be first, second round, just them 2 alone.
Yeah.
because Tyreek and Tyron.
If you follow Ohio State and kind of how they operate, man, there's a lot of teams around the country that put out a bunch of offers, right?
Mhm.
Now, whether those are committable or uncommittable, we don't know, right, as fans. But Ohio State, they're at the low end of the number of offers they put out. They're not, just because you're a 5-star or whatever, just because you have the physical ability to come play there does not mean you're receiving an offer from Ohio State. They are more focused on probably the number one thing you said you're looking for at a school is that fit, that cultural fit. You know what I mean? Like we saw last year, the team was real big in faith, man. Not saying you have to be a believer to go there, but that just kind of speaks to the culture that's been created at Ohio State. And that starts with Ryan Day. Matter of fact, it starts before that. It starts at the brand of Ohio State. There's a reason Ohio State is the winningest, college football program in the last 25 years. I mean, we're number one in terms of sending players to the NFL and keeping them there. There's a reason for that. And I think it's culture, man. So like to hear what you talk, like if I can narrow like your mindset down, then you got the future in mind. You don't have what can I get tomorrow? Let me grab everything that I want tomorrow. No, man, you got the future in your mind. It's really, really cool to hear. We'd like to try to get some questions in from the chat. So one I did want to ask you, a listener wants to know, do you get negatively recruited a lot? Is that something you experience? Meaning when you go to other schools, have any other schools ever tried to like talk bad about other schools or other coaches? You don't have to say any names, bro.
Yeah.
If you want to, we'll listen, but you don't got to do that.
I mean, it's some schools do that, but I feel like the schools that do that, it's kind of like it's like a sign they're not as confident in their own program when you have to like downplay another program. Like when I feel like when you know you're good and like you're capable, you're not really worried about something else or someone else like trying to outshine you to the point where you gotta throw water on them to like extinguish their fire. Like you kind of just like you're hotter than them, like your fire burns brighter than them. So like I don't even got to worry about even they're like overlooking me. So I mean, it's happened for sure. Schools have definitely tried to negatively recruit other schools, but it's more of like from my standpoint, it's more like a negative how I view their program.
Yeah.
Because, like if they do that to another school, who knows what they're saying about you to another recruit? It can go like that. So it's just like it's like speaks volumes of the type of program they are when that stuff happens.
Ain't nobody gonna get anything past you, man. I've never even thought of that, but you're totally right. If they're gonna talk bad about somebody to you, another player, they're doing it to everybody, bro. And dude, that's deep right there. That's good stuff, man. So just to kind of wrap up a little bit, man. Let's see how I want to phrase this question. Let's do a scale 1 to 10. 10 being you're gonna sign there, right? What is your interest in Ohio State? Like 1 through 10.
Very high. 1 through 10. You don't
got to give me an actual number, bro. I'm just curious how high you're interested.
High, like that, definitely that high range. Not like anything below 5. Very interested in this school. I took a spring visit. We didn't have an official visit set, but as soon as we got home, it was the first thing on like me and my mom and my dad talked about. So we're definitely going to try to schedule an official visit to get back up there. Very interested in the players, the coaching staff. Definitely want to get back up.
So my question is, what was Student Appreciation Day like in terms of the practice, the excitement, and in comparison to Practice Friday? What was the pros and cons, the differences?
I missed it. I missed the Student Appreciation Day by 1 day. I had to get back. I had to get back to Pennsylvania. I had an event. So we were only there for Thursday and Friday. But just I seen a couple clips. I didn't get to see everything, but it looked like there was a bunch of fans. Coach Washington, he was letting me know that like they invite people, like as much student body as they can. So it looked packed just from looking on the sidelines. They had recruits out there as well. So recruits plus the student body. You still have the coaches out there. It looked packed. So I bet it was just crazy. I bet it was a crazy environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like this question right here, man. Kirk Barton from over there at Buckeye Scoop wants to know, 3rd and long, you have to hit your favorite pass rush move. What you doing, dude?
I guess it really depends, like what I've been doing during the game. But maybe like a spin move. Like I've been hitting them with power all day. So I go into like a power rush and then throw like a hezzy and then spin off of that because they're kind of setting up to like get hit. So
Yep.
you spin and you kind of lose them. That usually works often.
Yeah, I like it, bro.
And
Well,
what's
man,
your favorite thing to do? Get a sack, get an interception, or a tackle for loss?
That's a good question. I've only ever gotten one interception. That was pretty hype. I can't lie. But I would say like a sack or a tackle for loss. It depends how you celebrate after the tackle for loss. Because a sack, like deflates an offense. Like it just kills their momentum, it kills their energy. Because you get sacked, you lose like 5 to 10 yards on a sack.
Yeah.
It just kills your whole drive. It's a drive killer. It's like the best feeling as a defensive player to just watch like offense go dead. And then a tackle for loss, like it depends. Like if you get a tackle for loss and you tackle him and you drive him down and you get hype after, that's another energy killer for an offense. Like that deflates an offense. And then if you get an interception and like it depends what you do with the interception. Like if you get an interception, you just go straight down. Like it's cool. You got to take away, but like an interception and you take it for a couple like some yards, like that's big. But if I had to rank it, I would do sack, TFL, interception.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of it depends on the situation too. You know what I mean? If you get a game-winning interception, probably moving up to number one. Yeah, for sure. You play basketball, bro?
Yeah, I play basketball. Yeah.
But do you play basketball though? You know what I'm saying? Like you a baller?
Yeah.
You throwing it down, driving down the. Okay. All right. I believe you. Enough said. I believe you, man. So just to wrap up here, man, have you put out a top 5 or a top 3 or a top 50 list yet? There are some players out there, man, they'll put out a top 25 school list. It just kind of blows my mind. But I mean, just out of curiosity, man. So what's your top schools right now? Would you say?
Yeah. So I came up with the top 8, I think maybe a day or two before I left for Ohio State. I came up with the top 8, kind of narrowed it down based on those 3 things: the fit, flourish, future. Top 8 schools: Ohio State, Penn State, Rutgers, Kentucky, Michigan, USC, Stanford. I'm missing one. Did I say Penn State? I said Penn State. I'm missing one. Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah, top 8. I don't know. I forgot.
Gotcha.
I like that you named Ohio State first. They're very important. You know, top of the mind.
Official visits scheduled.
Yeah, I have officials for all of them besides Ohio State, but it's going to happen 100%. It's
gotcha.
We're working on it. But I do have official visits for all 8 schools. Some are in the spring because we couldn't fit them all in the summer, but there is a date for all of them. Or man, a date for all of them. So.
Cool.
My personal last question is: when you were here, were you able to get around and about the city of Columbus? And if so, what's your thoughts? Because some people don't like big cities, some people do. How do you feel about the city of Columbus itself?
Yeah, we didn't get to see a lot of it because, like you said, it is a big city. It's actually a vast city. It was so funny. Me and my mom were cracking up because you get to Columbus and like you're not really expecting like much. Like you don't like you think of Columbus, like I don't know.
Cows.
Like, not a lot comes up. But just getting like the little ride that we did have around the city and around like the campus. There's a lot of stuff to do in Columbus, like a lot of stuff, good food. We went to like a sushi place with Coach Johnson, who's really good, by the way. I don't even eat sushi. But the city is like stunning, looks great. And I can bet there's only countless things to do, and that's intriguing because you spend 3-4 years there, you hope like there's some fun you can do. So the city looks good.
Dude, that's kind of a normal response we've been hearing from recruits is Columbus kind of surprised them. So we're going to give a tip to whoever runs Ohio State football's media. Start showing recruits what there is to do in the city because they think there's not much to do. Show them what's out there, man. And
they think the highlight of the weekend is cow tipping.
Yeah. But hey, Jackson, it's been an absolute blessing, man, having you on here for real, dude. You're a joy to talk to, like seriously. We'll definitely be reaching back out here before too long. Get you back on here for another update, dude. Maybe after your official visits and whatnot, and see what it is. You know what I mean? If you want to commit live, you know what I mean, on a channel, hit us up. If you're going to commit to the Buckeyes, dude, hit us up and we'll have you on the show. Whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But we appreciate you, brother.
Thank
you got
you
any final words for Buckeye Nation, Jackson?
Go Bucks. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And if your dad does want to come on, we do Pops Pod. That might be a good spot for him with Duke Pettyjohn and Daniel Sanchez. Yeah. If he wanted to come on, he could come on with them. They'll give him like talk recruiting and stuff with him. from a
Okay.
parent's point of view, you know.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Jackson. Have a blessed day, brother.
Thank you.
OH.
See you guys.
Yeah. IO. Damn, I didn't get to the OH early enough. Whoops. Anyway, again, dude, I know we are we repeat ourselves, but yet again, we see, you know, the part of recruiting that us fans don't get to see. And I love this. This is the biggest blessing in doing these interviews and having this platform to do these things, is it allows everybody to see the you know, the mindset behind these kids, the character of these kids and whatnot, because it's a big deal, man. And to, you know, to kind of, I don't know if I want to do it. Yeah. But for instance, let me just give an example. You got some other recruiting services that when you put out information on a kid, like, oh, hey, he's committed to this school, but he's taking this visit, this visit, this visit. He's really interested. Oh, he's wearing Oregon stuff at this OT7, all this. Automatically, people start forming an opinion about this young man, right? Based off of the information that is being put out from, for example, Com3, right? They put out this information, and then people, now, whose fault is that? You know, I don't know, because should you judge somebody based off of an article that a recruiting service puts out? No, you shouldn't. But we're people. It freaking happens, man. My point is, this is what I love about this, and I do believe this is the future of recruiting. Let's hear from these players and parents themselves. Let's let them tell their stories. Let's let them show who they are. Let's not have an opinion of who they are, or who we think they are, or who we think their top three are, or what do we think they thought of the Ohio State visit. Like, I love the recruiting services. They'll ask a question, they'll type out the response from the recruit, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they do. That's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be putting all your opinion into it, because it does, man. It affects the way people look at these recruits, man, and they're real people. This isn't just some game to them. They're not pawns to move around on a chessboard. They're not cars in a car lot. They're people. They're kids with parents, with siblings, with a grandma and a grandpa and uncles and aunts. Like, they're real live people, man. So you see how worked up you get, chat, me, Mello, everybody, when somebody says something to you on Twitter. Well, guess what, dude? They're people too, man. They see the responses from fans. They see those things, man, and it affects them. So, Mello, your thoughts on the interview?
Man, that was beautiful. Well said, well stated. I thought that young man represents everything that a Buckeye is and should be. Mature. You could tell he's intelligent. Like Garrison said, he had Stanford in his top 8. So that tells you he has it up here. Probably good with his time management. Not a kid that seems like he would come on campus and get in trouble. I don't see that for him. I think he would fit into the brotherhood and the culture perfectly. He loves the competition. He's very competitive. You heard him say he lost his first rep at his new school, never lost a rep again. That just goes to show you the mindset. He said he loved the practice because it was a war for every single play. The players are getting on the players when they're not stepping up and holding down the standard. So are the coaches, which is different than most programs. You see a lot of coaches out here complaining about how they'll pay for fire and passion for their players, and they have the number 1 classes the past 5 years. Why is that? Not every 5-star is a 5-star, you know. Not every kid has that hunger and that passion. Not every coaching staff can motivate in a player to want to put out and give it all. Not every player can motivate their teammates to do the same or lead. So if you look at what Coach Day is doing, he has us on a fantastic trajectory. And I've never been more excited about being an Ohio State Buckeye fan in my life.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, you cannot tell a true 5-star from film only. Right. You got to talk to them and see their mentality and their character and how they're built, because there's a 5-star body and skill, right? Yep. And there's also a 5-star mindset. You know what I mean? And that's Jackson Ford has a 5-star mindset. You know what I'm saying? He just does, dude. Like, he wants that development, wants that culture, thinking about where he's going to go to school, the degree he's going to get, the whole 9 yards. So it's a beautiful thing to hear.
And I kind of think he's underrated. I mean, he's 6'4.5", almost pretty much 6'5", right? He's not done growing. He's 16. Young men don't stop until about 19, 20. He's 240 pounds and he runs a 4.640. Like that's flying at that size. And we already know Coach Mick's putting on 20 pounds within the first 3 months of being on campus, and he's going to get faster. So that's a kid that's going to be a freak.
Yeah, for sure. Got a lot of potential. We're going to switch over to some spring updates, updates that you've probably already heard a lot of these updates. Maybe you haven't. We talk to some people, we read the boards, we do the whole 9 yards. So based off of we were not there, so nothing we're about to report is something that we saw ourselves other than the clips that everybody else has seen and maybe a few extra clips that you haven't seen that we have access to. We have watched. So we're going to go down through just a couple and just share our opinion, man. The Lincoln Keenholz, Julian Sayin, Tavian Sinclair. I will start. Since this is a thing I guess people do, I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit, I guess, and say that I said don't sleep on Lincoln Keenholz. But before I really go into this, I will say it's spring football. It's, you know what I mean? You can only – these opinions and the throws and what they're doing, there's only so much weight behind it because it's so early. They have to keep this up. But as of right now, Lincoln Keenholz is killing the game and has gotten a lot better. Whatnot, Julian Sayin is doing well as well, but he's going through your normal struggles that you have as a quarterback. And Tavian Sinclair looking like a boss out there, man. Looking like a freshman quarterback, but you can just tell, man. I watched a couple clips of him moving around in the pocket, slinging that thing, and it got me excited, dude. It really did. Your thoughts on the quarterback battle?
Man, you know how I feel about TSC. That's my guy right there. I picked him to be starter by August 30th, by the way. I'm going to just jump out on the limb. But no, seriously, I think we're in great hands. We have the quarterback whisperer and Ryan Day. So whoever is going to win this job, whether it's Julian, whether it's Lincoln, and whether it's TSC down the road, I think all three of them can lead us to a natty. Just distribute it, take care of the ball, and we're good. You don't have to be CJ Stroud. You don't have to be a superhero. Even though I think that Julian personally and TSC definitely have those capabilities to be that type of quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. I think we have the makings of being able to defend our national championship.
Yeah. It's difficult, man, because you hear people say that Lincoln Keenholz will never play at Ohio State. He'll never be the starter and all this. And you know, I don't know, man. I'm not there watching. I'm not professional or whatnot, but Ryan Day recruited him. Yeah. Ryan Day asked him not to hit the portal and stay around. Like, if Ryan Day made the decision, I'm going to recruit this kid, and not only am I going to recruit him, I'm going to try to keep him here to battle with Julian Sayin, that should tell you all you need to know. That, yes, he can play at Ohio State, regardless of what we hear and what we think, man. Ryan Day, who knows more about the quarterback position than anybody in this world that even wants to begin to talk about it, if Ryan Day will make the necessary moves. If Ryan Day did not think Lincoln Keenholz, Julian Sayin, or Tavian Sinclair can get the job done, he's going to do something about it, man. Look, last year, I mean, we had Devin Brown and Kyle McCord in the room, and Ryan Day went out and got Will Howard, right? Like that was happening before McCord ever transferred. Ryan Day was going to go try to grab a Will Howard. That was happening. So if Ryan Day's not pressing for that, then that means the quarterback is in this room, which includes Lincoln Keenholz. It just does, man. Now, again, dude, this conversation can completely change just because Lincoln's killing it right now. All I'm saying, don't sleep on Lincoln. Ultimately, I think Julian Sayin, tightens this thing up, gets it figured out, man. We're dealing with Ohio State, Ryan Day, and Billy Fessler, man. They know what they're doing. So
absolutely. And just remember, 2 years ago, Devin Brown was in the lead, and Coach Day came out and said it, that he thought Devin Brown was going to win, but he ended up losing the battle to Kyle McCord. And then last year, all you heard was how terrible Will Howard was. And that was legit. He didn't have a good spring at all. He led us to a natty. That's all he did. So, I mean, don't put too much stock in this. I do truly feel that Julian's probably going to win the battle, but you can't count Lincoln out either. So let's see how it plays out. Either way, I feel great about whoever wins the job.
I want to do something real fast. I'm sure you guys have saw this clip already, but I want to show you guys the Lincoln Keenholz pass to Carnell Tate down in the end zone. I got pretty pumped when I saw it, dude. I thought it was a pretty darn good pass. I can't do it. That's a fact. So let me get this going here. Let's blow this up. Can you see it good, Mello?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Dot time. That's a pretty good pass.
Yep.
Boom. Wanted to share that with you guys to show you the quarterback that could possibly run this thing. All right. Running backs. James Peoples, looking like James Peoples fan. Bo Jackson and James Peoples are very difficult to bring down. Breaking tackles, running through stuff. CJ's looking good as well. Sam William Dixon and CJ were kind of swapping out carries there, but James Peoples was the one getting most of the work in, and then Bo Jackson also got thrown into the mix. So really four running backs played with the ones during the scrimmage. Your thoughts on running back?
I like what the running back room is. I think we're going to be better than what everyone thinks. I'm not saying we're going to have the best running back room in the country, but we have the potential to. I don't think we start right there, but James People is a monster, a mini J.K. Dobbins, but maybe a little bit bigger in the legs, but he's a beast. And then you got Bo Jackson, who's pretty much the same size as C.J. Donaldson, but super fast. And everybody in Ohio already knows that if you got to see him play. And then you have C.J. Donaldson, who's a big dude. He lost a lot of weight, so he's gotten quicker. I saw him catching some balls out of the backfield from the quarterbacks and a lot from Julian Sand. So it looks like he has good hands as well. So I think our running back room is going to be pretty well stocked, and just wait until Isaiah West gets in the fold and gets healthy as well. So I think we're good. They're going to use Sam William Dixon, probably split him out a little bit in the slot. He's going to be a matchup nightmare for a linebacker. No linebacker is going to be able to cover him, and he might be just a little too quick for any nickelback as well. So I'm pretty excited.
I mean, dude, if I were to guess on what the season is going to look like, my guess would be James Peoples and CJ, and then you're going to see Bo Jackson or Sam's William Dixon, whatever one it is, kind of as much as you saw James People last year. But just to I do kind of want to tell people, like, the hidden gem that might separate CJ a little bit from really hammering down those second reps, I think, is his receiving ability. You know, the dude used to play wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? So he is really, really good at that. You heard the players in their interviews talk about that and say, yo, CJ is really like that at receiver. So that might be the one attribute to him. Like, Bo Jackson might be just as good as or a better runner as far as running back, but CJ might have a little more tools in his arsenal right now, given the experience of his background.
I dropped a little nugget about that.
Yeah.
So I talked to Brad the other day. He says what's up to the people anyway. But Brad, CJ is from Miami area, where KJ is from and where Brad is from, which is KJ's dad. He said Chaminade Madonna played CJ's high school team, and JJ was on the team for Chaminade and KJ. And he said CJ lit them up, like absolutely destroyed them. And he was like, he flat out told me nobody saw him as a running back. He was one of the best wide receivers in South Florida. So that should tell you what kind of running back hands he has.
Yeah, dude, that's a fire little nugget there. Tight end. The only update I have is just to keep hyping up Max Clare, the incoming transfer, and him in the slot as an absolute menace, dude. And all that stuff. But I'm sure you got some more updates, considering you're pretty hyped about one of them. But give us your updates.
Hold on. You gotta keep talking a little bit. I want to look something up real quick.
Okay, all right. But yeah, like the Max Clear thing, I don't have any more information straight up. I'm not about to just start repeating and making up stuff. But as far as like the past week in the scrimmage, the only update that I heard from various sources was just kind of reiterating the Max Clear and how deadly he is as a receiving weapon. And now they're kind of curious as to, hey, dude, how the heck are we going to feed all these elite receivers that we have? You got CJ, running back, who's a receiver. You got Max Clear, who is a great receiver at tight end. And then you got, JJ Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, Bryson Rogers, Quincy Porter, Mylan Graham. I mean, dude, it's just kind of wild to look at the receiving threats, particular, that are on this team, dude. But I would love to hear Jelani Thurman's killing it over and over and over again. I would love to hear that. I didn't hear anything bad, and I did not hear anything good. But that's the same with
anything about Jelani.
Yeah, that's the same with Will Kasbaric and Bennett Christian. All of them. The only thing I heard, period, was Max Clear is really good.
Yeah, that's all I heard as well. I don't have any updates. I can't find what I was looking for. So I'm not going to hold it up. But if I do find it, I'm going to bring it up later.
Yeah. So here we go. Offensive line. This is probably the longest discussion that we're about to have as far as the spring updates go, because we got a lot of updates there. So I'll just tell you who started off, who was the starting line for the scrimmage, okay, which pretty much doesn't mean anything right now. Well, obviously it means a little something, because you're going to hear some guys' names that were like, yeah, this is what it is. Ethan Anianwa, left tackle. Cool, man. Predicted that. Luke Montgomery, left guard. Cool, man. Predicted that. Carson Hensman, center. Cool, man. Predicted that. Tegra Shabola, right guard. I did not predict that. Ian Moore, right tackle. I predicted that, but a lot of other people, they have not. Now, doesn't mean much of anything, but I'm just going to continue reading my updates that I have. Dude, Phillip Daniels is very, very aggressive as an offensive lineman. Very, very aggressive. Got a lot of penalties, unnecessary roughness, like plays over. He's still shoving you down on the ground. Gabe Van Sickle and Jake Cook. Watch out, man. You got some ballers in the room that are really pressing and pushing these starters that we already knew were starter capacity. But to hear about Gabe Van Sickle and Jake Cook, a freshman, the lowest ranked lineman that we got in the class, coming in and just outworking people and just, turning people's heads. Josh Padilla, another one of those very aggressive, mean streak type of offensive linemen that I love. Me and Mello were begging for, last year, we were begging for an unnecessary roughness from some of our offensive linemen at the beginning of the year. We didn't get to see it, but it's looking like we're going to see it this year. In Austin Searveld, he's just standing out as one of the most consistent linemen that we have right now is Austin Searveld.
And can I just shout out Riley Pettijohn? If you saw him just ragdolling some old linemen, it isn't the first time he did that. I got a nugget about that. That happened the previous week with the same exact player again and the same exact results. So shout out to Riley. He got that dog in him. And that just shows to the competitive nature that this team has. They want to win. Every single snap, every single play. So if you think there's going to be a mental setback from this team, you're completely wrong. But I did find what I was looking for. I realized what I did wrong, by the way. I was typing in the wrong name.
Got you. You want to show it right now?
Yeah. I'm gonna try to do it. Let me see.
So just hit the present invite.
Yeah, and then hit
share screen. Yeah, and then hit on it. Now be careful. Whatever is on that screen that you hit on is about to pop up. So if you
no
be
doubt.
Careful, man. You make sure your banking information's not up there, or
got you.
What I'm saying.
So can you see this?
No.
All right, hold on.
You got it.
Can you see it at all?
No. You see us below? Oh,
no.
Dude, maybe you should be able to do it. Maybe you can't. What are you on? You on X?
No.
What are you on?
I was on. Oh, I see it. That's why. Got it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, here we go.
Now hit full screen. Oh
I
yeah.
got you.
Oh yeah. We've showed this 3 times.
I got showed again. This is all I got with Jelani, baby. Like the dude is just a freak show, bro.
Yeah.
Not everybody. We got some new fans that might not have seen this. Dude is a freak athlete. So that's the update from Jelani. That's what I
Okay.
got. That's it, brother.
All right. There we go. There's the Jelani Duncan again. That's the potential this dude has. But you got anything to add to the offensive line?
No, I think we're gonna have the best offensive line in the country. This is not just hyperbole or just scarlet tinted glasses. We legit are gonna have the best offensive line. We're gonna have the deepest offensive line in the country as well.
Yeah, I love hearing it. D line. Will Smith Jr. was your third D tackle to come in with the ones. Other D tackles that played with the ones: Tywan Malone, Jason Moore, Eric Mensah, Jarquez Carter, and Trajan Odom. Kind of threw a lot of people in there. There's a lot of rotation going on there, trying to find it. Really, the only update I would have there is that Will Smith Jr. is really being consistent and solidifying himself as the third defensive tackle as of right now. A lot can change. I put a lot of weight on Jarquez Carter. Nothing popping off there yet. People said he looked good, but not standoutish. Dude's a freshman, got a lot. I'm still holding firm on my prediction that he's going to be in the 2 deep. That's one of my my little kind of wishing type of throws where you throw out and hopefully you hook something. Yeah, that's just straight up. And plus, I watched this film. I think the dude just got it in him. But
absolutely, that's Warren Sapp Jr., baby.
Yeah, those are just the tackles I hit on. You want me to do the defensive ends as well, and then you just roll into it, or?
Yeah, you could do the defensive ends. But what I will say real quick about the defensive tackles is that I heard K-Mac had goal line stand, which is exactly what K-Mac does. You're not running up the middle on him. Edric Houston, long arms, strong, quick off the ball. So I'll leave that. Obviously, I believe those are going to be our 2 starting defensive tackles. I think we're in more than capable hands to replace Tyleek and Ty Hamilton.
Yeah. I get kind of different, you're going to get different updates from different people. I mean, I heard somebody's update in the offensive line where they're really struggling with the pass protection. And then I got another update that said they're doing really good in pass protection. But there is a pattern here. The biggest patterns I've heard are in the trenches, and mainly at the defensive tackle position. Believe it or not, the pattern I keep hearing there is that they need to go in the portal for a tackle. Mine was D end. We need a D end. Not the pattern I keep hearing is we need a defensive tackle. So that's surprising to me, but that's just the thing I keep hearing, keeps getting brought up. As far as defensive end goes, this is maybe why they're not too concerned with defensive end. Number one, why? Because CJ Hicks is turning some heads seriously in a very serious way. And I'm still on the you got to show me thing because I've been hearing it forever. But I'm telling you, more people than ever are talking about CJ Hicks. Also, Zion Grady, the freshman, the one that Mello keeps saying is going to contribute. It's looking like that. He's going to hit the nail on the head with that because Zion Grady is turning some heads in there as well. And also Dominic Kirks. He's with the defensive ends right now, I believe. He's turning some heads. Yeah, he definitely is with the ends. And then KJ, Kenyatta Jackson, he's a dog, bro. Yeah. He's that dog. Ever since Day put him out there with JT and Jack, I think that boosted his confidence up a lot because ever since then, been hearing some stuff out of practice that this dude's going to cause some serious issues, man. And Caden Curry is just always doing his thing. He just don't stop, bro. Just don't stop.
So with CJ Hicks, I understand why people were like a little standoffish on him. And the only reason, and it's very simple, he hasn't done anything really because he's not really a true linebacker. So for me, having a new DC come in, the way once they told me that he was going into the DN room with LJ, he was going to teach him some pass rushing moves and everything. I knew that there was potential that he's going to be elite in terms of being a pass rusher because he already proven that he's elite at that. That's what he does. He's like Darren Browning. So Matt Patricia, having the experience that he is, he's going to adapt the role for him and use him to his fullest potential. KJ, I got KJ getting double-digit sacks. I think KJ is going to be he's going to bring that prototypical Ohio State defensive end pass rush back that we were used to seeing previous years under LJ. Caden Curry is a dog. He never gives up. He's constantly moving. He's always around the ball. He's always making a play happen. Ziggy Grady, he's doing even better than what I expected him to do as a freshman, to be honest with you. So I'm pretty excited to see how he continues to develop. And obviously Dominic Kirks is going to be his second year here, and it's time for him to step up. We need him to step up. Yeah, for sure. I keep wanting to hear reports on Joshua Mickens. Josh Mickens. Yeah, but I haven't heard anything there yet. What was I about to say? Yeah, so moving on to linebackers. The best pass rusher on the team is a linebacker. The best blitzer on the team anyway, and that is Arvell freaking Reese. He is, you heard the players in their interview talking about Arvell Reese. The welcome to Ohio State moment for Phillip Daniels was an Arvell Reese experience, coming around the edge with the bend that he has, different things like that. So watch out for Arvell Reese. Sonny Styles did not participate in the scrimmage, not because of an injury or anything, but I think Caleb Downs did participate, but Sonny didn't, just giving him that break because of how long the season was. But those two leaders, Peyton Pierce is somebody's name that you're just going to hear a lot this year. The announcers are going to be calling his name a lot. We've talked about him a lot. He's doing it on the field. He just is, man. And then Riley Pettijohn and TJ Alford, both of them, they're flashing. They're just flashing, man. So what James Laurinaitis has done with this linebacker room in the short amount of time that he is here has put our linebacker room in contention of being the best linebacker room in the nation. And that's big time moves right there for being less than or about a year into being the linebackers coach. It's a big freaking deal. And then the linebackers that he has lined up for this class and also next class, by the way, the 27 class with some linebackers there in the state of Ohio. I think the state of Ohio might have the number 1 and 2 linebacker. Antoine Higgins and Caden something. Antoine Higgins is the number 1 linebacker in the country in 27 class. Fun fact, he's related to me loosely, so I don't really deal with that side of the family, but some of my family does. So I'm going to try to reach out to them, try to get them on the show. I think by the end of this season, we will people will recognize it as the number 1 linebacker room in the country. And I'm looking for a big push. What I'm hearing down here, a big push to try to land Tyler Atkinson. If that happens, it's a wrap. Yeah, for sure. So again, loving where we're at this year for linebacker as well. Not a lot of experience there in the depth, but James Laurinaitis is the coach, so nobody fear, man. We're in good hands. And Sonny Styles is the leader of that room, and he's a very smart individual and a very good leader. Cornerback room. Let me start by saying I heard somebody today trying to say that the team up north has a better cornerback room than Ohio State, and it was just outlandish. That's outlandish. It really was, man. I mean, there's really riding for your team, and then there's just being delusional, and that's just a delusional take. Yeah. Like I don't know. Anyway, Aaron Scott, Devin Sanchez are in the 2 deep as far as outside corner. Bryce West was playing in and out, but he is showing up and showing out. You better watch out for Bryce West, man. He might be the so the starters were obviously Iggy, Jermaine Matthews, and Lorenzo Styles.
Bryce West isn't going to be kept off the field. He will be in the rotation at a large clip this year if he keeps up what he's doing. He's just showing up, showing out. Jermaine Matthews is an absolute dog.
Yes.
I mean, we keep saying that. We haven't got to see much of him. Saw him his freshman year, saw some of him last year, more towards the second half of the year. It felt like once the fans started complaining, we saw him more, but we'll never know. He got on the field more, but he's turned up this year. He's better than he was last year, and he has turned, man. So he's really filling that void that we had there. Man, Kirk Barton Kirk, I'm live right now, dude. Why are you trying to call me, bro?
Maybe he has a tip. You could put him on the speaker. He might have a nugget.
Talk about cornerbacks. Let me answer this real fast. This is funny.
Go ahead. So Jermaine Matthews, what people don't remember, tend to forget, is the fact that he was the highest graded DB in pass coverage his freshman year for the entire country. So that's the type of guy you're getting that's going to be playing as DB1 on our team. You got Iggy. Now, if Iggy gets his hands under control, which I fully expect him to do, you're about to witness something special from the number 1 and number 2 DBs on this team. Sanchez is going to get in there. Devin, he's going to play. So is Aaron Scott and Bryce West. I think all 6 of those guys are going to rotate. And it's going to be good for the program, for the culture, for the future, because you're getting those guys ready to step in and take over next year. I firmly believe at some point Devin Sanchez is taking somebody's spot. He's going to be starting before the season's over.
Yeah, so as far as the safety goes, it's Malik and McClain. I'm comfortable with either of them at this point. They're showing up, showing out. Miles Lockhart was playing in the slot for the ones. Fahim Delane and Leroy Roker were taking 1 reps at the safety position. And a sneaky guy to pay attention to here is Inky Jones, man. The coaches trusted him and threw him in there very early, obviously. So I just got to mention his name because he was taking reps with the ones. That's all I got, Mello, as far as updates from the scrimmage. Like you said, you posted it on our X account. The competitive nature of this team is showing out more than last year's team as far as the competitive fire that they have. Younger team, really hungry to make names for themselves, really hungry to put their stamp on this team and make it their team. And they're doing a hell of a job of it in the spring so far. Still a lot of things to work out. I encourage you, if you're a fan and you hear something negative come out of spring, love it, man. It's great. Let's get this negative stuff out now. It's going to happen. I promise you there's not a team in the country right now. If they're looking at their quarterback position and saying, oh my gosh, this is going to be so perfect and so beautiful, then they're running the same play over and over again. And yeah, if you do that, you're going to get good at it. You know what I mean? But, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts going on. Offensive coordinator, running game coordinator, both brand new quarterback, new receivers to work into this. And you're also going up against the best defense in the nation, definitely the best secondary in the nation, every single time you're repping. Okay. So once we start hearing all good things, that means we are freaking elite. And we're already, I mean, it's going to happen, but keep that in mind, man. When you hear this thing about the quarterbacks, keep in mind who they're going up against, bro. Like, my goodness, you know, it's kind of wild, but
hey, the last time I shared my screen, could you hear, was there sound coming from it?
Yep.
Oh, I want to share one thing real quick.
Yep.
It just speaks to what I want to share from X. Is there something you got to do differently?
No. You can
okay,
share.
Cool.
Well, you just have to hit share screen.
Got you.
Pull it up. Yeah, pull it up on a different thing first. Yeah.
Look how hyped they are, man. This is a team ready to go back to back.
Passing complete, nice job, defense up on coach.
We don't have those problems with passion fire over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, not at all. We are they're ready to play some football, man. And I love it, dude. And, you know, I tell you, it's those situations right there that show you the type of culture that Ryan Day is building. And honestly, dude, this kind of hit me during that interview. It's also the brand of Ohio State is known for this culture. You know what I mean? And a coach can kind of press that, but Ryan Day is really honing in on a very specific culture. And that's a culture that is focused on the future. You know what I mean? Focused on their future more than it is, okay, what's my snap count now? What's the money I'm making now? No, the culture is built around, hey, man, where am I going to go in this draft? What are my grandkids going to think of me? What, you know, it's those type of thinking. It's a very mature, you know, type of culture. And I absolutely love it, man. But
and this is the last one I got to show. Jermaine Matthews. Remember who we're talking about? Number 7. He is a dog. So people posted this video of Carnell Tate supposedly making a catch on the sideline. And Jermaine retweeted it or re-X'd it, whatever you want to call it.
Incomplete.
And said, no, it was incomplete, bro. Like these are the.
Was that the one I shared? Yeah, that's the one I shared. I think. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's
that's
on our channel. That's from Nice Ball by saying better defense.
Yeah.
He made him drop that ball. So these are the type of competitiveness that you get when you come to the Ohio State. As you can see, incomplete. This is what you're going to get. And these are the kids that we're recruiting. And this is why I feel like we're in a great position to continue to have a dynasty.
Yep. Love it, man. Well, on that note, we appreciate you guys. We got some big time shows coming up, man. We got a 2027 recruit coming on Tuesday, but Wednesday, man, we got Deuce Gerald's coming on our show. He's a 5-star defensive tackle out of Georgia, big on Ohio State, loves Ohio State, man. We got some serious inside information to share with you on Deuce Gerald's. Mello does anyway. He's very in tune with the area that he's
just
going.
Remember, number 1 defensive tackle. Don't go off of ratings. Don't go off of rankings. Go watch his film. I apologize because I have actual film from when I went to his game. The dude is a monster. He is straight up a monster.
Yep, we'll try to get some of that pulled up after his interview. But on that note, you know, share this on your Twitter, your X, your Facebook, Instagram, all that. Do that for us. Hit the like button if you haven't already. But on that note, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.
Ayo.